Yeah, okay, so apparently, like, all of JD's recent videos that just came up on my feed, so I'm gonna keep doing videos on him because apparently he wants to be racist and Islamophobic and call people feds and cops when that's clearly what he is. So let's go.
Just so
Ass people like this, man. He wants you to spend the rest of your life in prison. He probably a CIA plant trying to get y'all hemmed up on some dumbass shit. Y'all got a strings around his neck. He's a cop. He probably a CIA plant.
But JD, you snitched to the Secret Service. You told on your co-defendants, and you tell to the cops on shit like that. You've been on podcasts of retired cops and lied about a bunch of shit that wasn't true on there. How do we know you're not a cop? How do we know you're not highly connected with law enforcement? How do we know? Why don't you come out? Why don't you say it? You look like a cop. You stone cold look like law enforcement, dude. How do we know you're not a cop?
Listen here, Akbar. Zero shot on all that. I know you're used to overpowering goats and little girls and shit like that, but it ain't sweet over here. You can take that forcing Islam on people and Sharia law shit and go pound sand, dog. Christ is king.
Okay, so you're a Christian nationalist now. And you're probably a groiper because you're terminally online. And you're Islamophobic as fuck, saying that dude overpowers goats and little girls. So are you saying that you're trying to say that generalize all Islamic people, all Arabs, fucking go after little girls and goats? Sorry to say it, bro, but I have a little bit of Iranian in me, so that's extremely offensive, homie. It may not be very much, but I still have Iranian in me. I have genetic DNA that is Iranian. I look white. I am pretty much 70% mostly English. Well, 60% English, about 18% Scandinavian, and a mixture of everything else from German, French, Irish, Scots Irish, and Potato Famine Irish. Um, Black, North African Plains-Walker, so North African of some sort. Blacks, freaking Africans, and Iranian. So knock that shit off, dude. Because, like, one of these days you're going to find some Arab that's actually trained, and you're going to run your mouth to him, and they're going to beat the shit out of you, bro. You're going to end up trying to fight back and catch a fucking hate crime, dude. And I'm going to laugh when I see you on the TV for that shit. Because you live in Lane County, and your news station covers my county, so I will see that shit. And I'll be posting it on YouTube when it happens.
common for white people to say blacks that I'm gonna start saying whites.
As the king of all white people, the CEO of Caucasians, and the prince of all pastiness, we accept your terms.
Just
So basically, you're saying you're a white supremacist right there. You just are. You say you're the king of whites. Real great, dude. So you're trying to make yourself out as a king? Like, I have French in me, dude. You know what we do to kings in France? What my ancestors did to kings in France? They beheaded them with fucking guillotines. So, you can call yourself a king if you want, dude, but you try and make yourself a king, someone's gonna end up getting you. And because you're so abrasive as you are, it's not gonna be like King Louis where you're gonna be dragged out into the town square by the populace of fucking Eugene and forcibly guillotined your head off. No, it's gonna be more like somebody you closely know that's just had enough of your shit is gonna stab you in the back and you're gonna go out like Julius Caesar. And it's probably gonna be one of those white boys you thought was solid, and in the end you're gonna find out permanently why those white boys will shake your hand and call you brother to your face and then stab you in the back the second they get the chance.
Hey, do y'all think Chud the Builder is using his freedom of speech to say the N word while he in jail?
You know, he might be right now when he's in solitary confinement and the only person he can talk to is himself. But once he hits general population, zero shot. Absolutely no chance. It won't even be the black dudes that mop his ass up if he does. It'll be his own people. They don't do all that ooey-vey disrespectful shit between races when you locked up. That's exactly how race wars start, and race wars get the whole place on lockdown, and when you're on lockdown, ain't nobody making money. And
Well, you're right, is that you won't use that slur, but there are slurs that people do use in prison ubiquitously across California, all over the West Coast. And basically, if you're racist, if you're oy vey, you're racist, and you're in a prison, and you don't want to call a black person or an African American because you're racist, you call them a toad. Now, I don't use that word anymore. I'm only using it for context so YouTube understands where you're coming from. When Wes Watson called the island boy a toad, he was using it as a slur. It's just a prison slang that's used to try and lessen the fact that you're not calling them a slur like the N-word. And it'll still get your ass beat up. And it could be the white boys to beat you up, but realistically, the black person will go to their shot caller, their key holder for their race, who will go to the white's key holder and be like, "Yo, my homeboy wants to fight your boy of your race because he called him a slur." And the shot caller's either gonna allow it or not. And depending on how disrespectful the dude was and how deep the dissentiment goes between the races, it can lead to a riot or it could not.
need to be removed. What do y'all think? Let me know down in the comments. This progressive district attorney in Hennepin County let a Somalian who had hard-r'd 2 women walk free without doing any jail time. So the feds literally had to step in and charge that Somalian in a kidnapping.
Okay, you're doing the black person that didn't get charged, but what about that kid in New York? I never saw you do anything about him. That was only a couple of years ago. I never say one thing about him getting let off on all his charges, like less than 6 months in jail for like multiple rapes, and just told you get parole and you don't even have to become a sex offender if you complete treatment and do all this other shit, as long as you abide by treatment. And then I guarantee you, you weren't like big on YouTube, but it was like 2016 or 17. Was it Stanford or Harvard rapist? That kid got like 6 months in jail and that was it. But you ain't commenting on that shit. You're making fun of some woman just because she doesn't conform to norms of how women generally dress. Let me guess, you want a long-haired girl in a dress, trad wife. That's what you want. You want a trad wife, don't you? You're a straight Christian white male who wants a straight white female, a trad wife. That's what you want. Because you're a Christian nationalist and a racist. How any black people that are your friends even stand you or of any race can stand you, I don't know. But realistically, even the white people don't like you, dude, because the racists in prison don't like you because you're a snitch.
Children, me and some others think it really should cap out of dogs.
I understand your position. That's okay. You're allowed to have it.
That doesn't feel disrespectful to you?
It doesn't feel disrespectful to me. It feels like a difference of opinion that's often based in a religious background, to be fair.
I am not religious.
Well, if you're not religious, why do you think gays shouldn't have kids or adopt kids?
We can give him the black ones.
Yeah, bro. That dude's racist. And you making that surprise face, that's not very surprised, dude. You knew it was clickbait. You knew it was clickbait when you saw it, homie. And you know what's even worse? You probably actually agree with that kid. You agree with him. You don't think gays should be able to adopt kids. And you probably think it's funny that he said that we should give them the black ones. You probably agree with that, don't you? Don't lie. Yeah, don't lie, dude. Have a nice day, YouTube.